Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area personal bankruptcy attorney, and today I'd like to answer the question, can you file bankruptcy if you've been the victim of identity theft? And this is obviously becoming more of a problem with all the security lapses we've seen over the last few months and few years, that more and more people are finding themselves victims of identity theft. And sometimes those folks call me and say, it might be just easier for me to file bankruptcy. I've got some debts myself anyway, but now I've got all these creditors who I don't know who they are. I didn't incur the debt. They're suing me, they're calling me, they're harassing me. Can I just file bankruptcy and make this all go away? And I think the thought process is a good one, because bankruptcy is a great forum to deal with all that stuff. Instead of dealing with creditors individually in state court or even in federal court or in other state courts, going to bankruptcy court, you got them all in one place. You can address all those people. So yes, you can file bankruptcy on debts that were incurred by somebody else as part of an identity theft problem. The issue is that some creditors, especially if the amount is a large amount, may look at this and say, we don't believe that this is really identity theft. And they have the right under the bankruptcy law to challenge you. They could file an objection to the dischargeability of their particular debt. So for example, let's say it's a MasterCard or Visa, and there's a $30,000 or $40,000 debt that was incurred by somebody else as part of an identity theft problem. They could say, we're going to file suit in bankruptcy court called an adversary proceeding. We're going to ask the court to declare the debt to us non-dischargeable so that you've got to pay it. Or they could file an objection to the bankruptcy as a whole, where basically they're saying there's so much fraud here, this person should not be allowed to file bankruptcy. And obviously, if you were truly a dishonest fraudster who had incurred a bunch of debt using other people's names and fake Social Security numbers, then that would be grounds to have the entire bankruptcy basically kicked out of court. But if you're an honest person who's simply the victim of identity theft, then the problem is you're going to have to find a way to defend these lawsuits. And again, a good attorney will try to provide proof in the form of police reports or reports to the credit bureaus or letters to the various creditors and so forth, and document what you've done to show that in fact you were a victim, not a perpetrator of the fraud. But again, you may have to pay your lawyer to defend you from these adversary proceedings, and that seems really unfair, that you might have to come out of pocket several $1,000s to defend yourself when you didn't do anything wrong. But again, in bankruptcy, if you're asking the bankruptcy court for relief and somebody challenges it, you do have to defend it. As mentioned before, proof is a big deal in these situations. So before you even think about filing bankruptcy, make sure your ducks are in a row with regard to filing that police report, writing the letters, sending them certified mail to the credit bureaus and to the credit card companies. Show that you've made a diligent effort to address the fraud, the identity theft outside of bankruptcy before you actually go into bankruptcy. That will go a long way to showing that you are believable and credible. And if you do that, you maybe will head off some of these objections and the costs associated with them and go through the bankruptcy process, get all these debts discharged once and for all, and you're done with it. And obviously, hopefully by that point, you've put some things into effect to prevent future identity theft, put a credit freeze on, or gone to the individual credit bureaus and monitoring what's going on with your credit, and again, to make sure that you don't become a victim again, and be very, very careful about giving out personal information online or to even to restaurants sometimes that are a little less reputable. That's sometimes where identity theft happens. So bottom line is you can file a bankruptcy if you've been a victim of identity theft, but it may not be quite as smooth sailing as you'd like, but as I said, if you take some advanced action, do some proactive action, prepare for it, you can reduce the chances of having to pay a bunch of money to a lawyer to defend you from challenges to your bankruptcy case. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, also reach out to me. I'm at 770-393-4985. 25 or Ginsberg, my last name, @gmail.com. Visit my websites. I've got several of them. Atlanta-bankruptcy-attorney, very comprehensive site. My law firm site is GLOLaw, GLOLAW. It stands for Ginsberg Law Offices, glowlaw.com. I've got a blog at thebklawyer.com. So any way I can help you, happy to do so. And again, if you have any questions about or suggestions for future videos, let me know that as well. For now, this is Jonathan Ginsberg wishing you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan, and I hope you found this video helpful. I'd like to invite you to download my free Debt Destroyer Survival Kit right now. I've packed my survival kit with answers to the questions I've heard from clients for over 25 years here in the Atlanta area. Inside the survival kit, you'll find clear, easy to understand answers to critical topics about how to solve debt problems once and for all, including how do I protect my stuff, my house, car, and personal property if I file for bankruptcy? Are there any legitimate alternatives to bankruptcy? Will I ever get credit again, and if so, when? What mistakes must I avoid to get the most benefit out of bankruptcy? You can claim your copy right now by visiting my atlanta-bankruptcy.com website. And you are always welcome to use the email form on my website to ask me anything about debt and personal bankruptcy in Atlanta. www.atlanta-bankruptcy.com. And as always, I wish you the best.